like it. Hey, 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 hey. I say black, black, black is gold, black is night, black, black, black is light, black, black is gold, black is night, black, black is love, black is light, black, 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 black.
Thank God for this hellfire that he blessed me with. Young gutter brothers that indulge in a decadence. Precursor purpose, first time finishing. God's light on me, no diminishing. My God, I'm black. How lucky it is to see 21, no blackjack. Superstitions got it, premonitions like a black cat. Don't let your dreams through the seams, they might tax that. America chaos, like my pain, it's a rap cap. Shine right through all the disdain, where the tide at? Been away, keep the fan focused, never sidetrack. Seeing is believing, it's affiliate at contact. And if they sending shots, we gon' bomb back. Boom, made in this image, had a halo on the
What's up, man? We back like that motherfucker was good. Say no. We back, man. This Any and Everything podcast by two kings. I'm King DJ.
I'm King Perez.
And we back. Fuck you talking about, man. Let's get to that rock and drop it. Make sure y'all hit those polls, hit those views. This another one, dog. This shit slap. This Jordanelle with black. Black is like good. Black is back, nigga. black. So make sure y'all tap in. That shit fire.
It is. It's different. You know what I'm saying? Not the regular shit that's played.
Mm-hmm. So. That won't get no radio play, but it definitely gets a play on Any and Everything podcast by two kings, boy. Boy, that's some shit right there.
Right.
They ain't gonna. That's too powerful for them to play it on the radio.
Back to the basics. Shit, you know.
I damn sure wanted to do this the whole.
Rap was good.
Yeah, I rocks with that, man. So make sure y'all hit those polls. Make sure y'all tap into it right there. Any on Rocket or Drop It. My bad. But be back, shit, and we black. I don't know, man. What you been getting into? Everything good before we jump into the doo-wop?
I've been chilling.
You been chilling, man.
Weekend been wild.
Make sure y'all paying attention, dog. Cause wait, my bad. Make sure y'all paying attention because y'all see shit starting to shift around this bitch. This studio starting to get upgraded to a motherfucking 5-star luxury motherfucking hotel room, boys. So y'all make sure y'all tap in because it look like it's just this, but we working, y'all. We working. So go ahead, finish off your powerful weekend, my nigga.
Oh shit, my weekend was just full of bullshit.
Oh shit. Another one.
I just went outside for a minute. I ain't pulled a ride out, just to cruise and shit, chill, look at the city.
I just about to say it's that time now. That's no leaving.
Yeah, look how much the city done changed though. You know, I've been back in like the old neighborhoods and shit like that. And I mean, some of them coming back, but some of them still need that touch.
But for real though, it's all a part of the integration system anyways, if you pay attention to it. They targeting in the areas that's suitable for, fixation.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I do believe that eventually it'll be throughout the whole mid east side and the mid west side.
If you look at the spots, it's mostly all the spots that's closer to
downtown and then up that Woodward Strip. Yep, exactly. All up that Woodward Strip.
That's what they want back. So that's what they coming.
But eventually they're gonna. But you see, they coming down on the east side, that Gratiot area, or they used to, but now they starting to revamp that Gratiot area too. And then we already know what they're doing on the west side.
Because the city got plans to run that L train from downtown all the way across 8 Mile.
Yep.
Plus, the Dream Cruise, they trying to make it bigger. Mm-hmm. So that part of them different parts of the neighborhood are becoming value property. So, that's why people in that Pacific zone, they getting all these calls. We want to buy your house. We'll give you $30,000. We give you $40,000. My best advice is hold to it
steady
as long as you can, because that's about to become prime real estate. And for anybody that knows that have property downtown Detroit, that property tripled in value. You know what I'm saying? So if you even just had a lot down there, you can make, $10,000 to $12,000 a week off the lot.
Hell yeah.
Just by parking and shit like that, different events. So, if you got real estate in these prime areas, keep them, no matter how much they offer you.
Yeah, especially now. because they chucking them dollars out to get them
Oh
houses.
yeah, that's why they offering so fast. Oh, we give you 40,000. You don't have to pay any closing costs. You don't have to pay, no title fees. We pay all that. I'm pretty sure you do, because when them contractors come through that area, that 40,000 is going to be 160, 170,000.
And then they done quadruple their profit.
They put a house on it 200.
And you know the ones they're attacking them real rundown houses that you can tell the elderly been there all their life. You know they damn near built them houses up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you know they coming to get those houses. Medicaid, Medicare elders.
So what they count on is like, all our parents are getting older. They either going to the nursing home or they deceased. What they counting on is us not wanting them houses, us not paying taxes on them houses. You know what I'm saying? They become either city property or, a private owner. So, I mean, my thing is, if you got property like that, you shouldn't let it go. You should value all assets that you have. You know what I'm saying? That way, in the future, that's a legacy for your kids, because that's money in the bank. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's something you can stand on.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's a fact, especially if the person die. We just got to make sure that the beneficiaries do the right thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah. You raise them,
Pow.
teach them, bring them up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta give them more than just what the school giving them.
Yeah, for sure.
You gotta give them that life experience. That's why you gotta kick it with your kids.
Yeah.
And give them an understanding.
You done shifted the conversation. We about to stay all right here. That's where we at. This where we at. We right here. So shit, because I agree. Like we was just talking about before it ain't just when I was saying I gentle parent.
Right.
Gentle parent don't just come from me not whooping my kids. It comes from me holding a better dialogue. Because my oldest son, I did used to whip my oldest son. Everybody know that, but my oldest son used to be scared of me. You know what I'm saying? To the point where he wouldn't. We would talk and we was cool as fuck because we both was childish shit. I'm his daddy and I'm still childish. You know what I'm saying? So we would have fun, but them deep conversations at a young age, we really wasn't having.
Right.
Because the dialogue was misconstrued of the parenting. Parenting, I don't want to be your friend, but I'm not your enemy neither. I'm your everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So when I say I gentle parent and shit like that, that's where it comes from. Being able to talk to my kid and create a dialogue and understanding with my kid that's outside of an ass whooping or, because what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong, but who deem what's right? You know what I'm saying? It ain't what you do, it's how you do it.
I mean, we grew up in a generation, if, you did something that was outside the guidelines or the rules of the house, you got discipline. I believe that to a certain extent. You know what I'm saying? I believe that, you might start off, correcting behavior with a spanking, but after these kids get to a certain age, man, I don't think it's no longer applicable. I think by then, they pretty much conform to what the house rules is and what you believe in.
See, but that's the thing. That's the thing. They own being.
Right.
So it's not, we shouldn't have to conform them because technically their life already laid out. The Bible says, I know your beginning and your end. So in any religion, the God says it's preordained, right? Everything is preordained, right? So if this is their life, all we supposed to do is really just guide them, my nigga, and let them know the mistakes that we had. Mm-hmm. So if they encounter those mistakes, they know how to deal with them. It ain't that we supposed to be trying to, no, you ain't gonna do this, you're gonna do this. Like my son, I used to tell my son, bro, my son used to tell me he wanted to be a chef, which is still what he wanted to be. I used to tell him, no, you're gonna be something that's gonna benefit our family and what we got going on. Mm-hmm. That might not be his lane.
Well, I say to a certain age, for the simple fact, to a certain age, your kids follow everything that you do. You know what I'm saying? They have that one-in-one mind sync with, whatever you put in line. But
because you all they see.
When they
start or you the first thing they see.
When they start getting like 13 and 14, then they come into that like individuality type shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, you got to look at now, they socializing, You know what I'm saying? They learning a little bit about the world. You know,
Nowadays they learning a lot.
Right.
They got
we want to say, you know,
everything right here.
We want to say what's fair, and we want to say rights. When you got to understand, when your kids start learning like what's fair, different rights, and you know what I'm saying, how people should be treated, they look at life in a different manner. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you got to start kicking it with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's when you got to start sitting down, having these conversations and, you know, real life fucking conversations. You know what I'm saying?
I do that with my y'all hear me speak. I got 3 kids. I got 4 in total. I got 3 kids. Y'all hear me speak on a lot about my oldest son, which is 12. My middle child after that, my next child after that, she's 7. I still talk to her, but she still get the pampering and shit. You know. But I keep it at this age with my oldest son. I keep it real 100 with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna he ain't no street kid or none of that shit. So I ain't speaking in the streets or none of that shit. But I'm gonna either get him to where he can understand, because I don't teach him right from wrong. I teach him it ain't what you do, it's how you do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I told him, I say, motherfucker, if somebody come up to me and say, hey, put a gun on me and say, I'm gonna kill you, or I got to kill one of your kids. Y'all don't know about it. Y'all just see that dad popped up dead or some shit.
Right.
And to each his own. You know, I didn't want them to, it ain't what I did, it's how I did it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can go and live, or vice versa. A nigga may say, well, kill one of my kids. I can have another one. To each his own. Well, however he feel.
Right.
But it's all about, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. And I teach my kids that in the aspect of, you don't necessarily have to feel like you're doing something wrong.
Right.
Because really, what's wrong if you're not hurting or disturbing nobody else's peace?
And you got to look at it as the fact, you know, like, you know, I got 4 daughters. I got, you know, daughters that's grown. I got daughters that's teenagers.
Yep.
So, you know, it's different parenting style over the years. Like
Yeah,
my oldest daughter always say, well, you take it a little bit easier on my sisters than you did with me. You was, you know, much harder with me. You know, I feel like my oldest daughter is a little bit more responsible than the rest of my daughters, you know, because of so. But at the same time, like you say, things change, you know, generations to generations change. So, you know, with my daughters that's teens, that's going, you know, to college, graduating high school, I always got to break it down to them because they be like, you know, Daddy, can I go to this hotel party? You know, it's downtown. No, I'm not going to let you go to the hotel. Their mother might let them go to the hotel party. You know what I'm saying? That's a conversation that we have to chop up. She might feel like, you know, I'm keeping a tight leash on them. But the thing is, I tell them, you know what I'm saying? You go to certain places, you got to have a certain amount of restraint on what you do and how you do it, because you got to peep the crowd.
Yeah,
You got to see what's going on.
But don't you want to teach them that now, knowing that?
Yeah,
eventually
that's
they
what I'm
gonna-
saying.
you know
I
what I'm
teach
saying?
them that now.
So you
for
really
the
don't
simple
want to
fact.
not let them go
And,
to
you
the
know,
parties.
And it's like my oldest daughter, when she, you know, my kids, they never really like been out in the world, been out in the world. So it's
They
like
sheltered.
Right. So when my oldest daughter went to college, which I knew she would be going to college parties and shit like that, I had to tell her, you know, if you in a situation and you drinking and you leave the table, you tell your friends to watch your drink. When you come back to the table, don't
drink your cup.
Spill that. You know what I'm saying? Because your friends are not going to watch your cup.
They're gonna have fun
You
just
know
like
what
you
I'm
was
saying?
having
They're
fun.
going to get up from the table. They're going to be moving around. They're going to be talking to people. You know what I'm saying? Know your limit. You know what I'm saying? If you can only balance 2 drinks, take them 2 drinks, get your buzz,
2.
drink some water.
Well, I
mean,
need about 8 now.
it depends on everybody's tolerance. But you know what I'm saying? You try to tell them that for their safety, because, you know, if you look at a lot of colleges, there's so many rapes and shit that goes, you know what I'm saying, not investigated, and, you know.
Women get raped, they won't even say nothing. Because they don't want to embarrass or feel the sense of embarrassment.
So, you know, it's a lot of shit that goes on that you got to, you know, pre-warn your kids about.
So, like, do you feel like it's better to shelter your kids and teach them, or let them get the experience and guide them, though? Like, because I hear what you're saying, because
Let them get the experience and guide them.
so you shouldn't want to stop them from going to the parties.
I'm gonna give you one
Because that's how you build the trust.
Right. I'm gonna give you this instance. Now, for me and my kids, I used to tell them, all right, it's Sunday, pack up. We going on a field trip and shit. They'd be like, damn.
They already know it.
So what I would do, I pack everybody up and we go back to my old neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And we'd get out the ride. You know, so, you know, I'm like, you know, just check out your surroundings, check out where you at. You know what I'm saying? Because they not hood kids, so they didn't grow up in the hood. But I want them to understand that, you know, it's a difference between, you know what I'm saying, staying in the hood and staying in the suburbs. And what y'all try to mimic sometimes and what y'all try to reenact, y'all don't know shit about. So let's take this trip down here. Let's go in the hood. Let me show you how it might be a whole block and it's only 2 houses on the block. So, you know, the culture shock to them is like, damn, people stay in these houses?
Right.
Yeah, they stay in these houses.
And they
They
live
be
good
like,
and
why?
comfortable.
You know, wouldn't you be scared? I'm like, they not scared. This their neighborhood. They from here.
This what their environment is.
When they probably moved on the block, it probably was a whole block full of houses. But over the years, it's down to 2. You know what I'm saying? It depends on your hustle and grind. You know what I'm saying? Where you want to go in life, what you want to do, what you want to see. You know what I'm saying? My daughter asked me one day, we was at the Coney Islands over there off Mount Elliott. And there was a young lady out there, she was prostituting. So, you know, my daughter was like, you know, like, why is she walking back and forth to cars? You know, why is she out in the street? And I had
She
to
was
tell her.
selling weed.
I was like, you know, I had to tell her, you know, that lady's selling her body. And she was like, what you mean by that? I'm like, she's selling herself to get money.
They do that on OnlyFans now, boy. Fans only.
You know, these my teenage daughters, they looking like, man, why, you know, why would somebody do that? But you got to understand, this is life.
Life that they gotta live.
You know what I'm saying?
You definitely always say-
encourage them to hustle and grind so you don't have to live a certain lifestyle. And even if you have to live a certain lifestyle, you don't have to be a victim of your surroundings.
Or your prior circumstances.
Exactly.
But I think this is a generational thing that will always be, you know, spoken on. We always say, we want our kids to have better than what our parents gave us.
Right.
You know, and I think every parent say that with a sense of love, compassion, understanding, you know, empathy, you know, shit like that. But then we cross screw it with the material shit.
Yeah. And you know what a lot of people got to understand is that I came up in the hood. I came up in the 80s and 90s when shit was flowing. I came up in the 80s and 90s when shit was dangerous. You know what I'm saying? I walked them streets. You know
I think the 70s and the 80s was the hardest outside of, you know,
Right.
you know,
And you got
modern day. I'm talking modern day.
And I've been through all them generations. You know what I'm saying? And what I notice is between the generations, I hustled because I wanted to get out of where I was at. You know what I'm saying? I wanted a better life. So I got out there and grind. You know what I'm saying? And back then, my grind wasn't to wear big chains and, you know, wear popular clothes and shit like that. I was grinding because I wanted to acquire shit, you know what I'm saying, that I can make money off of legally, that it pull me out the situation that I'm in now. But what I noticed with most of this generation, when they grinding and they want to be in the hood, these motherfuckers not even from the hood. You know what I'm saying? They from the suburban areas, but they want to be hood motherfuckers.
I don't think it's that though. I think it's the culture of grinding.
No, if you look at it, the culture of grinding definitely changed because, for the simple fact, like I told you before,
You was hustling to get out the way.
Right, we was hustling to get the fuck out the way. We made the paper. We enjoyed nice shit, but we knew it was like a time and a place for everything. You know what I'm saying? These young motherfuckers now, they grind. They want the fastest car. They want the watches. They want the glasses. See, back in my day, that shit was cute for the police.
But now it's cute for the internet.
It's cute for the internet, but it's cute for the feds. It's cute for RICO charges. It's cute for indictments. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, and people,
but everybody not hustling like that though. You know what I'm saying? It's so many legal hustles.
Even if you're on the bottom level, they still watch you. Long as that money coming, they watch you.
But what if it's legal money and they still buying the same shit?
They still watching you. People got.
You can't get in trouble for getting booked for doing something legal.
You can't.
If I got a 9 to 5 and I'm really working, let's say I got a 9 to 5, I'm working and I stay at home with my parents and I ain't got no kids.
It depends on where you at, where you be at, who you hang with. You know what I'm saying? Before they start watching your pockets. You know what I'm saying? I can be making $10,000 a week, right? Legitimate. But if I hang down in the hood with the hood niggas, guess what? I become a target. They watching me.
That's true.
You know why they watching me? Because they think I'm supplying everything that going on.
But what if your kid is still doing the same thing and he living in the suburbs? He hustling because you got girls, so your daughter got the hustle that you taught. She got the legal hustle. She doing everything in the suburbs with her suburban friends, but she just look hood doing it.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what these kids doing now.
That puts you in a situation too.
I mean, it does.
You know what I'm saying?
It does, but you still kind of like out the way.
That's just like when I was younger and shit. You know what I'm saying? I always made it a purpose. Never ride with a bunch of motherfuckers in my ride.
That's,
you know
I
why?
Definitely.
Because the motherfuckers gonna profile us. They're gonna pull us over.
Take your hats off. Take your hats off when the police pull up.
So, you know, it's like nowadays this generation really ain't got no fear of the police because, you know, that generation of...
Why should we fear the police?
Exactly. I mean, but you know what I'm saying? When it comes to certain things that we used to be aware of, they not aware of it. They're aware of it, but they don't really give a fuck.
Right, because now we understand that, nigga, I'm teaching my kids the police is not to secure and monitor you. The police is to protect and serve you. Yeah. You act accordingly when you right. Or when you wrong, my bad. But when you right, express that you right. And stand on you being right.
One aspect of it, our generation didn't want to be harassed. We didn't want to get pulled over, period. We didn't even want to go through the process and shit. So we avoided it, dress down, keep low.
Not saying that they all get booked for when they do wrong, but back then cops was doing shit wrong and wasn't shit happening.
Right.
You know, now they doing shit wrong and sometimes it happens, sometimes it don't.
Right. I mean, you gotta
know how that shit goes.
You gotta look at the change because
but I still
video cameras changed the game.
Yeah, but I still teach my son to beware of the police.
You know, yeah, you gotta be aware.
My son, we'll ride past the cops. We'll ride past the cops when my son was younger, 3, 4. We used to ride past the cops when they had somebody pulled over, and we driving. I'll ride by, roll the window down. Fuck the police. Or I'll be like, Black Lives Matter. Or I'll be like, go across 8 Mile with that shit. So now we ride past the police, and my son roll the window down and be like, Black Lives Matter. I was like, yes, sir.
I mean, you know,
it's
like
what you teach them, bro.
The game to change because, you know, we went from a generation of police that basically used to plant evidence and set people up, you know what I'm saying? And there was no recording of that. It was basically, you know, the police word against your word. And, you know, you know who they riding with. So now everything is more, you know, in the limelight because it's videotaped and, you know, it's cameras everywhere. So they can't get away with the things that they used to. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, as we can see lately, it's a lot of brothers that done spent 15 and 20 years in prison and been innocent than a motherfucker.
Right. I mean, but you're teaching your kid, you're guiding your kid to stay out that lane.
Yeah.
While you hustling, while you doing whatever you doing. Like I said, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So if that's what you're gonna do, then you do it the right way.
I mean, I just tell them, you know, if you present yourself a certain way, basically be ready to
don't be a walking. Don't be a walking.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get targeted, no matter if you know what I'm saying. You straight up, you flying right, or you flying to the left.
Because like you said, for sure, one thing we can all agree on: through generation, shit changed. Parenting changed, police changed, government changed, the system done changed.
And you gotta look at it like these guys out here, they driving Challengers, they driving Chargers, you know, they driving what's that? The one truck everybody like the Journey.
The Ram.
No, the Durango. Okay, when police out in the field, they look for them cars. You know what I'm saying? Because they always figure that anybody that's selling dope or young motherfuckers with guns drive these cars. And I'm gonna give you a factual base on that. I was driving my homeboy, motherfucking not Camaro but Challenger. I was driving his Challenger. I got stopped at least twice before I even made it back to the crib. You know what I'm saying? Everything working on the car. I got my license and shit. You know, got my CPL. Stopped for no
Where you
reason.
at?
You know what I'm saying? And I'm just driving like downtown, you know, through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Just, you know, I always go back to the old block just to drive through.
That's where you at.
Okay. But the thing about it is, and I'm going to tell you the difference. They sports cars. Two sports cars, but two different sports cars. Now, I could jump in my Mustang, and that bitch got all the bells and whistles on it and every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? Got 10 in the back and shit, you know, the shit they fuck with you for. I drive my Mustang. I never get stopped. I go through all hoods, come out here, drive. They don't ever fuck with me. You know why? Because Mustang ain't a young black market car. You know what I'm saying? Most of the guys you see in Mustangs are a little bit older, you know, white guys, you know what I'm saying?
Corporate,
Something like
that corporate shit.
Exactly. It's a sports car,
It's still a sports car.
but it's not on the target list.
So you would teach your kids to get. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and I ain't disagree. So you gonna teach your kids to watch what they putting their values in.
The thing is about
Because
it
what if they
yes.
what if
Let me tell you
we
something.
know for sure we living in the burbs. We ain't in the hood, bro.
The thing about
so
it
wait,
is-
let me say this. What if you got your my oldest son is in the suburbs and he 29 and he driving the Camaro, right? The newest Camaro. You know what I'm saying? That bitch hovering like a motherfucker by that time, I don't know. So he driving that bitch and he's not getting fucked with. He's in the burbs. Like you said. Like we said, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. So if you hold yourself accordingly, my nigga, jump in the hovering neon. If you want to go to the hood.
I'm gonna tell you what made me so successful in the motherfucking hood, and it's a trip. Listening to Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times, if you listen to certain shit, because people telling the story what they been on. You know what I'm saying? This motherfucker once said, you know, I'm grown enough to buy a whip and not put rims on it. You know what I'm saying? So it's a difference from when I'm driving a 745 and I'm driving that bitch factory to I'm driving a 745 and I got chromes on that motherfucker with a tail,
Some
and
cold
motherfucking
BBS.
ground effects and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because they looking at me like, you know, this motherfucker, you know, is just overdoing it. What the fuck is he doing for a living? When they see me in that regular base, 745, they be like, shit, probably college students, parents probably got a little bit of money.
Little rich boy.
Yeah, let his ass roll. You know what I'm saying? So it was always a difference because I always wanted to be Ghost. And I used to tell motherfuckers, call me Ghost, nigga, because you ain't no never see me.
But what about the ones that's not? What do you have let's say this. Do you have a child that shows a different disposition than you?
Yeah.
A outgoing kid. You got an outgoing kid.
Yeah, my third oldest.
So
It's
so
totally different.
So how you dealing with that? Because you can't force be quiet on her
No,
because
I
she already a rebel. She already coming up like, no, y'all gonna see me. If I'm here, I'm here.
My thing is with her, I limit resources.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
But then once she get older and then she see those resources,
Yeah, I be like, you know, shit, nigga, you grown, you want to talk grown, support yourself. Let's see how you do about that. You know, my thing is that I'm not going to give you this and give you that and
So
you're
what
not rolling with the quorum.
Okay, so let's say this. So let's say you limit her resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you limit her resources and she gotta, you still give her due needs. So we ain't saying we stripping her from everything.
Right,
No,
but
you
the
still doing
pleasures,
her. You just taking away. You giving the necessities. You taking away.
I'm taking away the want.
And
give you what you need.
So let's say she step out and she start finding a way to create her own way to get her wants.
That's your ass.
Why?
Because I tell my kids,
She get the hustling mindset from her dad, right?
Exactly. So you got to go through that motherfucking hustling mindset of everything.
She did.
But you got to understand.
All you got to do is teach and guide, bro.
These things come with different situations. You know what I'm saying?
That's when you teach and you guide.
And you teach and you guide, but
But you
that
never
teach and that guide only goes so far because you dealing with an individual that's gonna think on their own.
Right. So you allow them to think on their own.
Dude, you got
because look all I'm saying is you'll end up losing your child that way, bro.
This is how life go.
Go ahead. I'm
gonna
listening.
tell you the real shit.
I'm listening.
My stepfather worked at Chrysler.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was an RN. I was a hood nigga. So no matter what they told me when I was growing up and what example they showed me, when I became my own individual, I didn't give a fuck about that. I remember a police officer asked me one time, "What are you doing out on the streets?" He's like, "I know you." He's like, "Your old dude worked at Chrysler. Your mom's an RN. You don't have to be out here." You know what I'm saying? Your family got a little bit of paper. I was like, that's their fucking money. You know what I'm saying?
So you wanted
don't
to make
dictate
your
life
own
for me.
way.
Exactly. So as I'm an individual, everything that I've been taught, I know.
So you don't think your daughter listening. You being taught,
listen,
so she knows.
You listening, but you don't give a fuck because
Did you give a fuck?
No, because I'm trying to find my own fucking way.
Did you find your own fucking way?
I found it, but I still had to go back to the teachings of what they fucking taught.
So this is, I always say this. I'm so glad you say that. I always say this. I said, man, I wish I was young. I wish when I was young, I listened to what the shit that my mama said.
Yeah.
Because everything that she said, I did. But when she was trying to, my mama used to say, you want to learn how to cut hair? I said, no. When I got grown, I tried to cut hair. I wasn't good, but if I would have learned back then, you want to drive trucks? No. Right. I ended up getting grown driving trucks. You want to preach, teach, or I did all of that shit. You feel me? Everything that she said, I did end up double back and doing. You feel me? So if she would have actually,
it's
guided me, right?
No,
but
it's
if she would have,
you, but you're not gonna listen at that certain age.
But I don't have to listen because lessons gonna always come to you twice. The first time is if you don't learn from it, which 9 times out of 10 we don't. You gotta have to keep on. It's gonna be the same thing.
It's coming back for you, and I always tell my kids.
So you restricted her. It's not gonna stop her from still making her own way. She's gonna do the same thing you did.
I mean, I restrict to a certain point. You know what I'm saying, and I explain why I restrict certain things. My thing is that. One thing about these kids, if they want to do it, they're going to find a way to do it. And, that it's like with my third oldest, like I told you, my third oldest, she's a rebel. So as much as I push, she's going to push back.
Yep.
She got to find her own way. Like I tell my kids all the time, hey, you want to run away from this motherfucker, run away.
It ain't about running away.
I'm not about to chase you.
But it ain't about running away. You want to know what? Because my mama used to do that. I feel like my mama used to do that shit to me. You feel me? My mama knew that I was a different type of kid. She just didn't really know how to guide me. You feel me? She raised her brothers and sisters. Her brothers, she raised all of them motherfuckers up. You feel me? When her parents died, or her mom died, my bad, granddad. That passed away as well, but she did all of that shit. So when she did it and they conformed to her, I was kind of like the opposite. You feel me? And then my youngest brother was smart as hell, so I kind of grew up like the dummy. You know what I'm saying? But to be taught, to actually have to be taught a different way because I wasn't dumb. I just conformed differently. You know what I'm saying? So all she doing is trying to find her own way. The same way you did, the same way my mom did, the same way everybody, it's always that we want to make the kid do. No, man, you got to be like, hey, I see you trying to do that. When I did it, I fucked up because I did it that way. But then when it came back, I end up doing it this way.
I mean, I kick it with them.
You got to.
You know what I'm saying? I kick it with them and I give them,
the
levels of life.
You got to talk. And I hate that I got a stern voice. Because I be trying to talk to my kids, and sometimes, out of passion I talk stern, but now I be trying to talk to them, like. So it's the way you deliver it to them.
My thing is the best teacher in life is experience. You got to live it. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't nobody at the moment tell me shit about this game. You know what I'm saying? I had to live it. And like I tell them, coming up in them times, what I done seen in life, compared to, what I'm saying, what a regular person would go through, you know what I'm saying, that changed my views. That molded me and shaped me into the person I became because I had the best of both sides. You know what I'm saying? My people was from the South, so when they came up here, they were straight up hustlers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Then I had them family members that worked, you know what I'm saying, that tried to show you something different. So it's like, as I got older, especially in my younger 20s, you know what I'm saying, I use both sides, you know what I'm saying, to shape my life and become the person that, I was.
But you hear what you're saying, though.
Yeah.
You pull from the traditional way that your peoples was trying to teach you, but you kept the knowledge. You took the street knowledge and you did your own thing.
Right.
So you really didn't go the way that your parents was teaching our kids. Because I ain't gonna just say your daughter that you speaking on. I'm gonna say my son in the same. But I had to understand and learn that shit from on the same shit. You feel me? So we can't really restrain the kids, bro.
No, you can't restrain
these kids. Great as fuck, man.
As parents,
for real,
we try to safeguard our kids, but are we really safeguarding them?
No.
You know what I'm saying?
No.
And that comes from an individual basis, and it's like, sometimes, as a parent, you hear the shit that's going on, and you're like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't want my kids out in that shit.
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
Another one.
But you got to think about it too. And I feel what you're saying because, it's
I show them that, though.
It's a
I
lot
show
of
my son
situations that
I be like, you could be in some shit like that. Or if some shit like this ever conspired to you, you got to be aware of it. You know what I'm saying?
But when I was younger, I look at it, I didn't have a lot of people policing me, so I was able to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do. So if, I tell somebody, I'm about to go down, to the strip and shit or something like that, and they be like, yo, man, they be wilding down there. They, shooting and robbing motherfuckers. Be like, shit, I don't give a fuck. They, shooting and rob me.
But then you hear the group that be like, dog, they be live as fuck down there. Right. Come on, pull up.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I look at it like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I do want to protect them from this shit, but, back in my day when motherfuckers say, it was jumping, I wanted to go see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't really think about the repercussions of going see.
You just felt like, man, if
shit.
if it's going to jump off, I'm going to be down there. I ain't going to be down there. You know what I'm saying? Which is all cool, but you just gotta teach that type of shit, bro. Because we done all been in environments where it done got shot up or some shit like that. Yeah. So you wasn't the one that got shot. You wasn't the one, with all due respect, you wasn't the one that got killed, shot, or doing the shooting. You know what I'm saying? True. So you got out of it. So you got to be able to say, hey, if you in these type of environments, make sure you paying attention while you having fun.
Right.
And
it's like things done change, man. When you have, like, you growing up back in the day, in my generation, your cousin was like your brother. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays, that cousin will change on you and set you up. Back in the day, when you had a crew, that was your crew. But not in these days, because your crew will turn state evidence on you, depending on the situation.
I still got my crew.
Back in the day, you had them friends that was diehard friends, you know what I'm saying? Nowadays, motherfuckers go on vacations and
now I be your family.
Never come back, you know what I'm saying? Because of, they trusted too much in motherfuckers, So it's one of these things you gotta teach your kids, you just gotta observe life. You gotta watch everything. You know what I'm saying? You gotta peep the situation. Mm-hmm. When that situation changes, you gotta take yourself out that situation.
Because life is about the pleasures in life. So you want your kid to enjoy the fruits of whatever they producing. You know what I'm saying?
Like I had one homeboy, and I've been knowing him for over like 30 years. My boy Big Meech. This motherfucker used to always tell me before we go out and party and shit, He'd be like, P. He'd be like, don't go with them. I'd be like, man, shit, it's about to be live. I'm about to go out here. We about to hang. He's like, if you go out with them niggas, you're going to be in jail by 12 o'clock. And I was like, you know, what type of shit is that, nigga? You know what I'm saying to say? I'm like, you know, you want to chill, you fucking chill. We want to, you know what I'm saying?
Your ass is in jail by 12 o'clock.
By 12 o'clock. We be in jail. That shit happened to me 3 times. 3 times this motherfucker told me, dude, if you leave out the house, you going to jail.
You didn't adhere to his teachings though, bro.
This motherfucker told me one time.
He didn't restrain you. He let you get the experience.
The last time this motherfucker told me, and we was going downtown, we was in Windsor and shit. So, you know, we was going downtown. I was like, I'm about to go stunt. I'm about to pull the old school out and shit. We about to go kick it and shit. Yeah, so we getting high. We chilling and shit. I'm like, this, you know, this night, this bitch jumping off, you know what I'm saying? We in Windsor, I mean, we chilling, we ain't in the city. Everything fucking different. Dude, we parked the motherfucking ride and we just walking down Olette. And like Olette is like downtown Detroit, you know what I'm saying? So when you're on Olette, you like on the main street. And we just walking, we buzzing, we chilling, kicking it with everybody and shit. Get to this one store, it got like 3 triple pane, big ass windows. Mm-hmm. And they had like this airbrush fucking jacket with fur around it and shit. And motherfuckers, you know, motherfuckers be joking around like, I ought to take this bitch. You know, I'm like, you know, chill the fuck out. Let's, you know, go. Motherfucker punched the window and that bitch shattered. Fucking alarms went off, dog. So we can't run back to the car. So I was like, fuck it. Let's jump in these cabs. So we jumped in the cab and we go all the way down to motherfucking Olette. I think it was Tecumseh. It was this old bar called O2's. Mm-hmm. So we pull up in the parking lot of O2. There's like 6 of us and shit. Soon as we get out the motherfucking cab, man, it's like about 13 motherfucking police with they I'm like, hey, this a bitch.
They was on the scanners like, hey, we got him in the cab. Hey, we're going to the roulette. You ever tell your kids that story?
Nah.
Why?
Huh?
Why? Why?
It's certain shit my kids know about me. It's certain shit they don't know.
But that's the thing. I mean, you withholding the experience from them, bro.
They know some things about my life because I mean, you got family members that talk. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, certain things they can't picture me doing.
So that's why that's why they think you just strict dad.
No, I mean, because over the years as they got older, they done learned a lot more about me than, you know what I'm saying, me being their dad.
Man, I be chopping it up.
You know what I'm saying? When people bring pictures and they bring old shit, you know, and they get to talking, they be like, damn, dad, like, shit, we thought you was a motherfucker that just go to work and come home.
That's how you get them the experience, man.
Yeah, I mean,
because it ain't that they gonna vicariously live through you, but it's that you show them that lifestyle that could be, because once you encounter a situation, it's A or B.
And you know,
wait. Once you encounter a situation, right, it's the A or B. So what you telling them the experiences that you did and that you went. I was out with some wild ass friends one night and we did this. So once they see what type of friends they got, now they should know. Damn, my dad said he was around some wild ass friends and they end up getting in trouble. I need to pick the type of friends. These friends I can do this with. These friends I can't. These friends I would hang out with. These friends we just text and talk. You know what I'm saying? That's why you teach them those type of experiences. I mean, tell them.
Years, yeah, that has changed. But you know, as a young father coming up, I didn't never want them to basically know certain shit about me because I didn't want them to feel like it was okay or glorified. But at the same time, I understand what you're saying when you say
I was wrong.
Give them the experience.
I'm like, when I did it, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Don't. If you ever do it, hey, when I double back, I did it that way. Hey, because they're always gonna come back twice.
And see, I never wanted my kids to be like, "Shit, Dad, you did it." So you know,
why? Why?
Because I didn't want
you their superhero anyway.
I didn't want to give them that excuse. I mean, you know, one thing about parenting, it don't come with a book.
It don't. That's for sure.
So it's like each experience, each child, you got to grow with, because you know, I'll say for the longest of time, I had parenting set on one way. You know what I'm saying? A look at that parenting, and this was my parenting skill. It got to be this way. Ain't no change.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
We rolling straight with
Yep.
it. But the thing about it is
that stern foot.
right. I started having kids, and all these kids had different personalities, different interests. So I looked at it like I can't raise them all the fucking same because they different. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta find that niche of that individual.
Yep.
And we gotta grow with that because, this one might not acquire all the attention. This one might acquire more attention. You know what I'm saying? This one might be book smart, but this one might be smart as far as skills, dealing with their hands or, building or shit like that. So it's like you got to come at them all different because they are different individuals with different personalities and shit. You know what I'm saying? This daughter might be able to take me, giving her that,
stern
and hard. This daughter might be, you know what I'm saying,
a little soft and sensitive.
and can't take that, you know what I'm saying, stern talk. So, you, like I say, you gotta, kind of like, find out each child they needs and
Meet them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I say. It's all about the way you got it. We as a culture. I believe, me personally, whooping that stern, whooping and beating your ass and making that's what they did to the slaves and the cattle. You whoop the cattle and make them do what you say. You whoop your dog to train your dog. They don't even want you beating on your dog now. Right. So why is it okay for us to whoop and beat on our kids and then turn around and say, I love you. Yeah. I love you, Johnny. I love you. How, Sway? How you love me, mama, and you whooping off on my ass because I look like my daddy? Yeah, my daddy dipped out on you because you tried to whoop off on his ass. But you made it seem like to me he was just a deadbeat.
Well, the thing about that is, when I was a kid, I used to hate whoopings. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was some, slave ass shit. You know what I'm saying? Because, we grew up in the generations where they show you these slave movies and they get whooped. So, my whole mind, you know what I'm saying? What I'm thinking in my mind, shit, if you trying to beat me and conform me, you making me into a goddamn slave and I'm not going to be a slave.
I ain't think about it like that. I thought my mama was just whooping my ass because I was doing shit to get in trouble. I was just a badass kid.
I know in some,
I did shit to get whoopings.
I used to think that in some aspects and shit, but some aspects I knew that an ass whooping was fucking coming.
I did shit. Yeah. I was just a straight up bad kid, bro. I did shit to get whoopings. Nigga, I was I put fire alarms and lit RTC rooms on fire, did dumb shit. I was like a bad ass kid, mischievous ass kid. So you feel me? Those type of kids, okay, yeah, you would get them a whooping. You supposed to. I thought. I didn't think it was slave. I deserved the whooping. But I just didn't want the whooping.
I thought it in some
but my dumb ass didn't stop doing dumb ass shit.
I thought, like I say, I thought of it in some aspects, but some shit you do, you just knew.
Yeah. What?
You already knew, hey, this shit come with an ass whooping.
And I was trying, man, and still was doing it. Still to the my son. I used to tell my son this shit. I still tell my son. I used to do shit like this. Like my son be like, Dad, why would you? Because my son not bad.
Right.
My son not bad. So my son would be like, Dad, why would you doing this bad shit knowing you about to get a whooping? And I'd be like, son, I really don't know.
Then I had to stop. I had to stop using that word because one thing I realized that
what bad or whooping?
Get bad. One thing I realized, I didn't have bad kids.
No, I was bad.
For me, I say I didn't have bad kids. I had kids that did kid shit.
I think I was retarded, and my mama just didn't want to put me on papers. One time, my school sat down with my mama and tried to put me in LD. My mama went off on their ass. My son ain't dumb. Hell no, y'all ain't.
I mean, I'll tell you, me growing up as a kid, I just did shit because I wanted to.
Just a bad
I
kid,
wanted all the smoke.
And the kid's not like that now.
Right.
So that's why I was like, the gentle parent is okay for me.
I wanted all the smoke, you know, back then and shit. Like the more the merrier and shit. I was an asshole. Like
Hell
that.
no. My mama was wild. Boy. One time, nigga, my mama choked me out. I ain't never choked my kids out. I swear to God, boy. My uncle was raised up like a brother in the same house and everything, around the same age, all that shit. Nigga, we was over at my brother's grandmother's house, and I was torturizing this nigga. I was doing dumb shit, being retarded, right? And my grandma told me to stop. Never stop. So she like, you know the rule when you get out the car. My mama always looked dead at me. DJ, go over there, sit your ass down, don't do shit, and they bet not have to say nothing to you. I always did the opposite. She never looked at my uncle. She never looked at my brother. She always looked dead at me, but I always did the opposite. So one time my grandma called my mama. No, my mama called, come on out. So we all ran out. She asked me, was y'all good? They looked at me. I said, yeah, we was good. My grandma was getting her hair done so she couldn't come out. Later on that day, my grandma called my mama, right? DJ did this, and that. I'm in the crib, in the room, playing the game. My mama stormed in the crib, stormed in the room, started whooping my ass, boy. All I remember is I took off running. She ended up catching me in the hallway. How she caught me, I have no fucking idea. I don't know. I was a kid. How the fuck your parent catch you? But anyway, she caught me. I ended up getting slammed, and then I woke up. That's all I remember. I told my son that. He was like, yeah, Dad, I'm glad you don't whoop me now, too. Boy, the kids nowadays wouldn't be able to take no torture and shit like that, dog.
I mean, they couldn't take some of the ass whoopings we got. That's for sure.
Boy, I used to get child abuse. Boy, I love my mom. I don't care, but I was a badass kid. Boy.
But I still say, do a child deserve a spanking? Yeah.
No.
I think so. To a certain age, you know what I'm saying?
What's a spanking? Do a child deserve to get hit with any?
I mean a tapping. You know what I'm saying?
That nigga said, I mean a tapping.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Not nothing did out of anger, but you know what I'm saying? Hey, leave that alone. Go on about your business.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Stir them in another direction. I feel like, actually, I have learned pretty much by the time a kid is about 5 or 6, they know that, don't touch the stove. It's hot. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Don't pull on this shelf because you don't want it to fall on you because you done redirected them, you know what I'm saying, so many times. Now it's starting, to
make sense to them.
Right, make sense to them. So you get to that age where they no longer doing that. They chilling. Then you start moving into that, 11 and 12-year-old mentality. So
you gonna beat their ass until they about... No,
I'm just saying.
I'm talking shit.
To me, I just feel like at the age of around 6 and 7, they know already. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can agree because when I stopped whooping my son around that age, and he say that's the excuse. He said that I think you just stopped whooping me. We hold a real dialogue. He said that I think you just stopped whooping me because I kind of caught on. But I be like, I don't whoop them.
Yeah.
He be like, because I can, he used the big brother effect. They see me, they know what's up.
I mean, I look at my, younger daughters to my oldest daughters, and you know what I'm saying, they vibe with me, but they vibe with their sisters different.
Yeah.
Closer
in age,
and their
different
sisters will be like, hey.
Different understanding.
Right, like that's
different dialogue, different text.
You know what I'm saying? Don't roll like that.
Yeah.
You already know.
When I did it, that's back when he was beating on, beat my ass. You don't want that treatment. Don't get a flashback.
Right. No.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's like, man, like I tell people, you got to understand, we as parents, especially as young parents, you know what I'm saying, we got to go through the phase because we don't know what to do. We kind of swinging it, you know what I'm saying, until we find, because it's all based on experience. You know what I'm saying? Experience pretty much mold you into the parent you become and the understanding that you get. It's a lot of things, when I was younger, And a younger parent, I didn't understand. You know what I'm saying? I just did. You know what I'm saying? It was an old saying that the people used to say all the time, you know, well, I think it was like, don't do as I do, do as I say.
Do as I say, don't do as I don't do what I do what I say.
Yeah, so you
My
know,
mom used to use that.
That terminology is kind of fucked up, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know whether you know it or not, our kids are still looking at us.
But you want to know what's crazy?
If I'm telling you something that I said and I'm telling you to do it, but I'm doing the opposite of it.
But they looking at you and see that
Exactly.
you having fun.
Well, I mean, it could be fun or they can see you fucking up. You know what I'm saying?
Regardless, but they looking at it and they saying, how can I not go? Let's say if this you going out of, you doing some illegal shit, right? And it's bringing you money, right? They say, damn, my daddy getting money.
Right.
You know, as girls, they gonna want a nigga that's getting money.
Yeah.
So what they gonna lead to? Street scamming, some type of nigga that's getting money. Yeah. If they bring home a poop putt that ain't getting money, what daddy gonna say? This poop putt ain't getting no money. Why you bringing this poop putt ass nigga around? Come on, man. So all you gotta do is tell, hey, I'm getting money like this. It ain't what you do, it's how you do it. I don't want you to do it because I want you to go in this direction. But I understand that your life is your life and you're going to choose to live your life. But listen to what I did wrong, what I think I did wrong when I failed at it.
Right.
And if you come to that crossroad, you either got to pick A or B. And then I'm going to sit back and either be like, I told you. As me as a parent, all I either want to say is congratulations or I told you.
Yeah.
One or the other. I'ma love you regardless. But I you can't never say, I ain't tell you. Why? Because all of the experience that I went through, right or wrong, good or bad, I told you. So if you ran into it or you came about it, you gonna either go through it once and you gonna overcome it because you gonna hear that in your head. And then you're going to be able to overcome it, or you're going to fail and then go through it again. Most people be like, it's not failing. My nigga, you failed. Right. All right, time to do it again. Okay? You got to go through it again. And then if you fail again, keep on going through it until you learn your own lesson. But at the end of the road, I always hear my mama's voice and say, you want to do this? I told you was going to do that. You did this. We talked about that.
Me personally, I walk on failure. And the reason why I say that, because anything I fail in, I get the experience to come back and redo.
But what if you can be that person that say, hey, I really didn't fail. I just listened to the motherfuckers that told me.
Well, it's not about failing.
That's a cop out, bro.
I ain't gonna even say it's failing.
That's a cop out.
I'm saying it's learning experience.
But people fail in life and become bums and homeless.
I mean, they do, but you know.
Do you want any of your daughters to become that?
No.
Hell no.
I want them to learn from their experience. And the only way they can experience is some shit if they go through it.
What if once they get to it, they have no idea how to go through it and fail in life and become homeless, and that's like the final shutdown. That's
a choice.
But let's say if you went through that same shit that she didn't want to discuss with you because you didn't want to discuss with her, and she coming to that same crossroad, and you could have been like, hey, I did that back in the day, and I failed in it because of this, but I overcame it the next time because of that. And once she hit that same crossroad, she could be like, hey, my dad said he failed because of this, and such, this high, so I ain't gonna do this. I'm gonna end up doing it that way because it ain't the same situation, but it's similar because religion, they believe in generational curses. Mm-hmm. But shit is the same, my nigga. It's just it's different content. So she hit that same pivotal, and she could have thought about what her daddy said, but she can't think about what her daddy said, or my son or my kids can't think about what I said because I never told them.
No, I'm always telling them life is ups and fucking downs.
No, you got to tell them about them experiences.
I tell them
because
about
we know that life is ups and downs. But what's the flow?
Building businesses and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a ups and downsides to it all the time. And one thing about my kids, they know the ventures and shit that I fuck with, I show them how shit can go south.
That's the business.
I show them how shit, works out. Then I show them how, okay, this didn't work. So I had to go back to the drawing table and do this.
Life is a business. Life is a business, but it's also fun too.
If you coming from a business standpoint and you showing your kids, basically what you go through and how you do business, they will adapt to it.
But what about the fun essence of life? What about outside of the work? What about outside of the business?
You show them.
What about outside of the corporation?
Shit, I take my kids on vacations.
For sure that.
We don't, we don't vacation at home. We be gone. So,
we love tripping.
They look at shit like, my kids can be like, I went here with my dad when I was young. We went here, we went there. Mm-hmm. Each place we went was different lifestyle, different people. So, they versatile when it comes to life.
You want to know an embarrassing moment that I had to tell my son? I got fired from my job. That was an embarrassing moment that I had to tell her, but you want to know why I told him? Because I didn't want him to feel like being fired was a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Because you still got to pick up your chips and keep it moving.
You got to move.
Shit don't move. Shit don't stop.
Basically I tell my kids, whatever you go through in life, the moment you decide to quit, you fail. That's what I feel. The moment you decide to quit, you fail. That's failure to me. When you decide to quit, that is failure to me.
You just step out right to me.
You can change lanes at any given time, but when you quit on something, and you fail.
I don't agree with that. You want to let me hear what you're saying. The moment you decide to quit, you fail. No, because I want to say yes, I want to say no, because it's a key side. Because if I tell my son, because once you start playing sports, I done put him in sports that he didn't want. He said he want to play, but then end up not wanting to play. You got to finish the season.
Well, you failed at that if you didn't want to play no more.
Yeah, but he finished the season.
You finished the season, but you still failed at that aspect in life because you got to look at it like this. Okay, what if I wasn't that good right now, but I would have continued to be playing?
But what if he just wanted to try it and got the experience out of it and it led him to a different sport?
I'll tell you like this. Isaiah Thomas, when he wanted to be in the league, everybody told him he was too short. Everybody told him he'll never be able to play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he thought that in his mind at one point in time. But just think if he would have been like, you know what? I am too short. Fuck it. I ain't playing no more.
But then you got guys like...
He quit.
Then you got guys like...
then he wouldn't have been Isaiah.
I hear that. But then you got guys like Iverson, who was good in both sports. Who was an All-American in football and an All-American in basketball and chose basketball when at heart he said he really wanted football, but the basketball bag was bigger and was successful at both. You know what I'm saying?
And he didn't quit.
But he did quit. He quit football, but he was really still good.
He quit football, but he went for the other aspect in life.
But that's why I don't want to. But that's why I don't want to say. That's why I really don't want to agree with that comment. But I understand it though.
You failed in that certain aspect.
Yeah. I
mean, you can always move on something else, and you can always
accomplish and get great than that.
Exactly, but that aspect, if I want to play a fucking trumpet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I play that trumpet and
I'm
be
on
like,
the fence.
I'm shitty with it. I quit.
I'm on the fence with that.
I failed in that aspect. But if I go pick up a violin and I play that motherfucker like I'm in an orchestra, guess what? I accomplished that shit. You know what I'm saying? Because people would tell you, well, you was shitty as a trumpet player, you know what I'm saying? But you the shit as a violin player. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's different aspects in life we come. And it's like the most important thing is to teach not to be a quitter, but at the same time, if you find something else that you more, you know what I'm saying, skilled and passionate, you go for that because it's all about still finding your niche. Mm-hmm. You know, it's okay to fail, but we're not gonna master everything we fucking try to do.
I agree.
So some shit we gotta fail to win.
I agree. It's great that one thing that I say this before we get ready to slack. One thing I like to do now with my son, and I'm gonna do it with all my kids, is we read books. We read like culture, history books in our culture, only in our culture. We read self-evaluation books. We read self-positive books, shit like that, right? I tell them, nah, it's not about you understanding. It's just about you being able to read it and hear it. And most of the time it's on Audible. It's just about you being able to read it and hear it, because it's not going to be the first and last time you read it. So now we getting to the point where if he hearing something that he like, it's caught in his ear at an early age. And now I'm reading the same shit. So I should be able to dialogue, and if he come to me and break it down and give him the understanding behind it. But if he choose not to talk to me about it, he don't have to. Right? But he gotta read. I'm forcing him to read. This is the only thing that I force my son to do, is read and clean up. You know what I'm saying? And be responsible, right? So that's the only thing that I force my son to do, because those are the morals and the values. Right? So with the reading shit, we read books and we listen to it, and and I feel that it's gonna teach him at an early age, so he'll be able to learn himself as he's getting older. So once he becoming his, now motherfuckers learning themselves at 25 and 30s and 32s. You know what I'm saying? 40 to new 20 and all of that shit. Now 50 to, now we got glam moms and glam dads and all. Everybody just want to force themselves to be young because we reinventing ourselves and we finding ourselves. Right. No, what if we teach our kids to find ourselves at a young age? Right. So by the time y'all get to 20 and 30 and whatever, y'all kind of settled. And then now you done been having fun, and because you knew what you wanted to do. So once you bomb, you done went through those, whether you passed or failed, you done already came kind of like firm on your beliefs and understandings of what you want to do.
Well, one thing about reading, I always look at it, opens up communication lane. You know what I'm saying? And especially with, I have done with my daughters, like I read Tao Chang. Tao Chang is like the Book of Lotus and shit. Who? It's basically, he say, flow like the water. Oh, okay. So it's different conversations of how you view life, but view it in your own path. You know what I'm saying? A
self-evaluation book.
Right. So Tao Chang basically kind of gives you these kind of abstract, flow is to life, like life is to water, because water flows.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So it gives you like a peace of mind. So, I ordered these books and I gave them to my daughter, you know what I'm saying? And it kind of bring back the conversation, you know what I'm saying, when we talking on a different level. So, that now they can open up that communication so they can get an understanding about certain things in life.
And it also forces you to practice what you preach. Yeah. I love that, boy. I love that. Now you standing on ground, man. Well, yeah, let's get ready to, we gon' on that, man. That was a hell of we love that one right there. We gon' go ahead and let you get into that fuck you for the week. And I got a good ass motivation. Ooh, go ahead, Pete.
Fuck you for the week is going to Ronald Watts. And he's a Chicago police. The thing about it is, since 2000, Ron Watts and his partner's been putting multiple cases on people from certain areas. And when we say certain areas, we're talking about the black area. So they got an indictment and they got to redo, well, they're not redoing the cases, but they letting these people go. It's over 226 cases from the year 2000 to right now. So that means these cops have been planting evidence, you know what I'm saying, for over 20-something years.
He thought he was the real Denzel, huh? I mean, I'm putting cases on all you niggas. Right.
So, you're talking about they done locked up over 226 people. And ain't no telling how long some of them people being in jail.
Ooh, the baggage should be flowing for them.
Yeah, but you're talking about 20-something years of your life, 15 years of your life, 10 years of your life.
A day of your life.
But you gotta look at the flip side. A lot of times when these police officers make false accusations, not just statements, but they're written statements that they use for evidence. that people go to jail off of.
Lying under oath.
Yeah, these reports and shit. Because I mean, the funniest shit to me is when they say, like, when you're filling out a job application, if this information ain't true, you know what I'm saying, this will lead, this will lead to your termination. It might lead to, prosecution.
You will be held accountable.
Exactly. Why is these police reports not held to the same fucking,
It seems like that motherfucker about to get held.
Yeah, because, I mean, the shit they did was fucking outrageous, and they did it over 23 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's 20-some fucking years. You've been basically ruining people's lives, motherfucking indicting and, convicting innocent-ass people.
Securing and monitoring, bro.
Exactly. So, that shit is outrageous, and the police been getting away with it for years. You know what I'm saying? It's true to this day because you see how many people coming out of prison that went to prison on false evidence. But I mean, why are we not going back and getting these motherfuckers that set that situation up? You know what I'm saying? So when you look at these police reports and you look at the motherfucking video camera and shit, if that shit ain't matching up, that officer should be fired. That officer should be prosecuted for perjury. You making a fucking perjury statement.
You're lying under oath.
And,
on the Bible.
He's going to get off with basically, we retraining them. Or, you know what I'm saying, we sent them on, leave with pay. No, motherfucker, why? That shit ridiculous. That's the shit we got to start looking at in community and community policing, and you know what I'm saying, be aware of our rights, and you know what I'm saying, have to have this shit documented because I mean, police, chiefs and shit like that are not willing to give up. You know what I'm saying? Police video on incidents that happen. Yeah, I mean, sometimes it takes months to years to get that information. So we got to be vigilant out in our community to make sure this shit is getting out.
Yeah, I agree.
Because, I mean, 226 people that's locked up for shit they didn't do, that's outrageous.
You see that releasing, same thing, my bad, it was just about a different cop. Right. You see that releasing of the white cop choking out the little 13-year-old boy?
Oh, yeah.
And they sitting up there recording him. I would have kicked the shit out that cop in his head. Man.
And see,
monitoring and securing.
You gotta look at what comes
talking
around,
about I'm trying to detain him.
Because this shit gonna come to a head, at some point in time, and it's gonna go back in time because people in the community are not gonna let you come into their community and brutalize the kids, brutalize their women.
That's exactly where it's coming to.
You know what I'm saying? It's coming to that. Yeah. So, it's gonna come to a head where they're gonna have motherfucking basically National Guards come back into the neighborhood.
No. You got to see what they doing now. All of the police officers, if you pay attention, even on social media, they really trying to be real common with the community. So once it do come to a head, they'll be able to go back to the community and be like, hey, I was one of y'all. I played basketball out in the street with you. I did this with you. I bought y'all ice cream. I'm the good cop. You know what I'm saying? But you gonna need validation. And that's going to be what they're going to be able to stand for. So all of the ones that ain't validated themselves based on what you done did for the community, helped out, right. Actually protecting and serving and not securing and monitoring. You know what I'm saying? If you ain't did this instead of did that, then that's when you fuck.
Yeah.
That's what that said.
So it's going to be one incident that's going to set this motherfucking world on fire, dude. And you're going to see that change.
It's already shifting.
Yeah, it's shifting. But like I say, that we one incident away from bringing this shit, lighting the motherfucking match and setting it off.
We own that for sure. But let's go. My hold you up for the week. What I say, because of all this parenting shit we just talked about, right. Self-evaluation. Because while you parenting your child, you always have to make sure you evaluate yourself. Yeah. Because you cannot speak on shit that you ain't really on, bro. How can you teach your kids so-called good or right if you really ain't on good and right? So evaluate yourself, self-evaluation, and that's also good for your spirit anyways, man. Self-evaluation, self-understanding, that's how you learn yourself and also get better with yourself. Man, do nature, get outside, sit on that ass in the grass, and breathe and think about your life.
And put them goddamn cell phones up and iPads. Kick it with the goddamn keys.
Yeah, for sure. So we about to get ready to slide. So let's get back into that rock and drop it. Like I said, Jordan L. Black, for sure. So we about to slide on that.
That CB4. I'm black and I'm black. I'm black and I'm black.
Hey, no, he got other music too. His shit fire. No, dog.
I like his shit.
Yeah, and he coming for sure. He coming on here for sure. So let's get into Jordan L. Let's say we gone for sure after this. So
Peace.
We out.
I say black is gold, black is night. Black is light. Black is gold, black is night. Black is love, black is light. Black.
Thank God for this hellfire that he blessed me with. Young gutter brothers that indulge in a decadence. Precursor purpose, first I'm finishing. God's light don't mean no diminishing. My God, I'm black. How lucky it is to see 21, no blackjack. Superstitions got it, premonitions like a black cat. Don't let your dreams through the seams, they might tax that. America can't respect my pain, it's a rap cap. Shine right through all the disdain, where the tide at? Been a wave, keep the fan focused, never sidetrack. Seeing is believing, it's affiliate at contact. And if they sending shots, we gon' bomb back. Boom, boom. Made in this image, had a halo out the womb. They want me to be whatever they assume, but it's different on my side. I'm a killer whale, you can't get it.
Hey, black is gold, black is night. Black is light. Black is gold, black is night. Black is love, black is light.
Jordan get the lead on this, I got the rear. To any nigga holding the mic to stand clear. Two head hunting brothers that's never been pumped fair. Real niggas is here, real proof of the year. The diamonds that I rock on the wrist is too clear. The rhyming that we drop on the mic is nuclear. Murder any rappers like niggas with 2 tears. Tattooed on skin, the boy live with his pen. Whatever's written just don't be written again. Expressed on the envelope, niggas ready to sin. Real niggas got you that's never ready to blend. Let me say it again, apologize, I was absent as a father figure. Thank God he sent me just a father figure. Ways to get about this track just to bother niggas. Make room for my dog, all my niggas. Self-employed, live in joy, I got a dream. Ball hard, give me more rings, I got a team. 100 points Chamberlain mixed with Lil Kareem. At this point like these niggas is clean, these niggas is kings. Stay as good as they seem. Whole life lit like a movie cut of the scene. All black baby, this shit set in my jeans. Hand me down game like a cut of Karate King. I'm black.
Okay, okay, face that. Black.
Yeah, made this, and every wave you ride, so much bigger than a slave ship. Tsunami, every time we touch a mic, put him on grave shift. Black like the unknown, you catch that foot on they spine, but we never step back. Miss Mary Mac, dressed in black, recognition of trendsetters. Ask me how you doing, I never been better. Black shades, slack down with a thin.